If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Welcome to Open Mic America. Engineering for us today is Capo Dave Williams, our founder, and Robert Edgar will be our interviewer. And I am your MC. My name is Daphne Ramil. Our mission is to support local open mics. Without gimmicks or frills, this is the beating heart of American music, the tapestry of story and song that's been weaving us together for generations. We have a wonderful show here for you today with a beautiful variety of performing songwriters. And now let's introduce them all. First will be Tom Gewecke from Sunnyvale, California. You can wave, Tom. Great. Then is going to be Pat Henry from Waterford, Michigan. Then Tom Maynard from Plaistow, New Hampshire. Mark Bishop Evans from Phoenix, Arizona. Bet Paget from Raleigh, North Carolina. Home Tonight, which is Gail and David from Mariposa, California. Bill Palmer from Murray, Kentucky. And we'll end with Kirby Hurd from High Point, North Carolina. So let's just get on with the show. And our first guest is Tom Gewecke from Sunnyvale, California. And just so you'll know, he and also Robert Edgar, our interviewer, will be playing separately this Thursday at the Monkey House in Berkeley, California at 7:30 p.m. Tom wants to talk any more about that? He's got the stage. Take it away, Tom.
Thanks, Daphne. I think I'll let Robert fill in the details about the Monkey House, but yes, 7 o'clock in Berkeley, if you're so inclined or somewhat nearby, and that will be Robert and his son, and I play in a group called Chiseled, and another artist. Robert, you probably have to help me with her last name. I know her first name is Edie. Okay, so. I'm going to play 2 new songs. I think conventional wisdom says you should play songs that you really know. But I suppose I'm not too wise. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. This first one's called Since the Baby Came Along. I hear you laughing when you're with your friends. Stare at the phone in the ensuing silence. Feeling out of place in another time. And chasing your tail instead of the sweet sunshine. And I'm a Marlboro man, and you're ISIS. But no one showed us how to work through a crisis. Another sleepless night, tossing and turning. More bills to pay, more lessons left to learn. There's hope for me and you. With some help, we'll make it through. But you don't hold me, you just scold me. Since the baby came along. And working long and hard didn't make you free. It left you feeling burned out in misery. But you remember the good times we had our share. We started out single, then became a pair. There's hope for me and you. With some help, we'll make it through. But you don't hold me, you just scold me since a baby came along. And so I write this letter blue and forlorn. Must our love die when new life gets born? To grow up like a strong sequoia tree, a little bit from you, a little bit from me. There's hope for me and you. With some help, we'll make it through. You don't hold me, you just scold me since a baby came along. You don't hold me, you just scold me when the baby came along.
Wow.
Nice.
Thanks.
Odd in that. Wow.
That's a great song. Wow.
That's a great song.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. A lot of feeling in that. A lot of memories for some of us.
Yeah, I've been listening to some Ray Price and Buck Owens, probably more Buck Owens. So, a bit influenced by some of the swing in his music, and realize how much of his music had that feel, that swing. So, it's pretty educational listening. If you listen close and go, oh, okay, everything feels like you can kind of just sort of lilt to it. So, okay, so I thought I'd do something more contrasting. So I'll do this song here, and this one I kind of came up with after talking with a sort of a friend of a friend. He grew up near, I think, in Reading. So I think his favorite place in the world is a small town near Mount Shasta called Lakehead. I've never been personally to Lakehead, but just the way he talked about it kind of made me think and get the idea for this song. And then I found out later that Beck has a song by almost the same title. I think his is called Little One. This one's called Little Ones. There's a time to sing together, bring our voices near. The rattle-tap-tap din goes on, but the notes ring loud and clear. There's a time to be apart and pick through what we've known. Lay quiet inside nursery walls where our families have grown. Drive on, little ones, where the land meets the sea, and focus on the good you're doing for history. And there's no turning back, where we come from is gone. Gotta drag these bones upriver. Lakehead in the morning, the water's cool and clear. The flies dance near the surface as the steelhead reappeared. And first we stole fire, and bombs came down like tears. Mount Shasta looms like a god above all we hold dear. Drive on, little ones, where the land meets the sea, and focus on the good you're doing for history. And drive on, little ones, for you're the ones to see the good still left in people like you and me. And there's no turning back, and where we come from is gone. Gotta drag these bones upriver.
Oh, wow. How beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Really fun.
And alive.
Thanks a lot. I
That
appreciate
was really
that.
fun, man.
Thank you.
Beautiful stuff.
I bet Robert has a lot of questions to ask you.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Robert. Can I call you Bob?
Yes,
Kidding. Yeah.
please. Anything is fine. We go back a long ways. I wondered if you'd talk a little bit about your history coming up, and also the instruments that you've learned along the way.
Well, how far back are we going? From the time we met, or
Instruments can go back as far as you like, and then start from where we met.
okay, yeah. So where we met, so I met Bob at the Red Rock open mic in Mountain View, California, and I was back in must have been back in the year 2000, somewhere around there, and Bob's daughter Meredith, who's also a wonderful singer-songwriter, was sort of part of that open mic, and it was a great scene. And I don't think it was just rose-colored recollections, but it was, the great thing about it was really supportive, and there's a lot of collaborations happening. And I think one thing I loved about seeing Bob every week was, first of all, you never know what you would get. He didn't repeat himself often, and the things he played were just not your typical things. So Bob would always push the envelope every week, and sometimes I just wonder how did he come up with that song, or how did he come up with that lyric? But that was one of the things that made Red Rock, this particular open mic, so neat, that we had a great variety of performers, and yeah, had a great community.
What's always struck me about you, Tom, is that you have such a wonderful balance between both music and life. The music is so saturated with your life, and it just seems so natural when you write a song that you go, oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, that part of life. I remember that, and it never seems distant when one hears it.
Thank you.
Lately, you've been playing both with Tin Cat, which is an older music project, and also with Chiseled. So talk about that a bit.
So yeah, so Tin Cat was a group that also came out of that Red Rock open mic, and it just happened organically, which I think is the best way. Just a few friends going, oh yeah, I like your stuff. Maybe I can play guitar on it, or I'll play bass on it, and then before you know it, you have a group. So yeah, we had a pretty good run with Tin Cat, and we got involved with the Folk Alliance. So we did a few of those as well, and did some small tours. So got to know what that was like, and up to Oregon and Washington. And so these days with Chiseled, we're a little bit more homebound, although we do play in a few different areas of the Bay Area. And that was similar to this open mic that came out of the pandemic, and just not really being able to do the usual get together with old friends and jam. So So another friend I met from the Poorhouse Bistro, um, which is recently reopened, we decided we would try and make a go of it, and so we recorded and wrote some songs and recorded things remotely, and we met at a park to do our practices, and I even invested in one of those those fold up, very uncomfortable camping fold up chairs just for that purpose. So now we're 2 albums in, and the other guy in the group, Stefan, his son has joined us because he's quite a talented guitar player. So yeah, we're we're having fun. We're getting out there, and as I said before, looking forward to playing with you on Thursday.
Yeah, that'll be great. By the way, Edie O'Hara
Edie
is
O'Hara,
the
thank you.
other songwriter who will join us there. That'll be great. I don't think I've heard Chiseled yet live, so I'm looking forward to this very much. So,
Cool. Yeah, me too. Me too.
okay. Okay. Thank you, Tom. And
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
nice job. And always. See you soon.
Thank you, Tom, for being on our show. And I wish I could come hear you at the Monkey House. That was wonderful. And next we have another first timer, and that is Pat Henry from Waterford, Michigan. Pat, if you'd like to tell us where you like to play in Waterford, Michigan or around, you are welcome to do that before you play your songs, or if you want to just start playing, that works too. Take it away, Pat.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. You can sing to let off steam when you've blown a fuse. And if you're feeling down and out, you can sing the blues. Sing old MacDonald had a farm, or found while he beagled all the day. Do you remember the road to Mandalay? We can all sing together, you can sing along, but even if you're all alone, sing a song. Now you can sing a song that says it's never so bad that it can't get worse. You can sing a song whenever you see a hearse. Sing John Barleycorn Must Die if you like that dirge. Or you can sing a sailor's chant, or a song you learned at church. We can all sing together, you can sing along, but even if you're all alone, sing a song. Sing jump down, turn around, pick a bale cotton, or a good old protest song. Sing about the rocking chair, a creaking on the porch. Across the valley moves a herdsman with his torch. We can all sing together, we can sing along, even if you're all alone. Sing a song. There's songs out there to be found, and I can't write them all down. And if you can't find one you like, well, write your own song down. And I sing things will get better, but don't get me wrong, 'cause I just can't tell you when they will, but I hope it won't take long. We can all sing together, you can sing along, and even if you're all alone, sing a song.
Sing a song.
Great song.
Sing another song.
Well, do you want me to? I mean, I got two tonight, right?
Yeah, sing a song.
Now, this is a goofy song now, but I think everybody has gone through what I'm going to talk about right now. I went down to the river and I jumped right in. Well, it didn't occur to me that I could not swim. Well, don't you know, that's the way that it goes. I got behind the wheel of my new car, but I didn't have the key, I didn't get very far. Don't you know, that's the way that it goes. And I wanted to watch my TV, but it wasn't plugged in, and I didn't see. Don't you know, that's the way that it goes. Wanted to use my computer to no avail. I looked all over the house, I couldn't find the mouse. Don't you know, that's the way that it goes. You say up, I say down, and you say square, and I say round. Well, don't you know, that's the way that it goes. And I know they want to save my soul, and as soon as I can find it, I'll let them know. Don't you know, that's the way that it goes. Now every morning I get up and say, what in the world will go wrong today? I know it will. Don't you know? That's the way that it goes.
That's a good way for it to go.
All right.
Hi, Patrick. Like your songs, are would you say that most of your songs are with that light humor that those two have?
Well, I can be nasty if you want, but I mean, I figure I can sing the song the NRA would shoot me over. But anyway, I mean,
That's good.
the song that I sang first is what I've done since I was 1958. I'll sing to my dog. I will be anywhere. I don't need anything. It is just such a good feeling to work. And you are a songwriter. You know how long it takes you to figure out how to do it right.
Uh-huh.
And then when it feels good, and that's all I need.
Yeah, you point out a great thing, which is that the time between getting a song down first and having it so that you're happy with it and can you actually find out kind of where the heart is in it and bring it out so that others can hear it.
Well, you probably know, sometimes it comes from the chords and you have no words, and sometimes you have words but you have no chords, and then every once in a while it all comes together without you knowing, because I know you have probably said, now I'm going to write a song today, you crumple up the paper, throw it in the garbage, because if you don't feel something, me anyway, I can't write anything. I can't say I'm going to do it. It has to come from somewhere.
Yeah, sometimes, often I'll pick either an event that happened or something that I thought about and try to kind of tack that down. And then as I write to it. And either it'll support it and all the way to the end of the song, or it won't, and I'll toss it on that. But I can't tell always when I begin if it's going to hold up or not through it for a whole piece. Yeah.
Well, I'm not that good. Like, it's called trial and error. It's freelance, random, noodling, whatever you call it, because I don't really set out to do anything right away. It just has to come from where it came. And you're right. You can hear something and put it in the can before and pull it out to go with something else. So you don't forget anything, really. I mean, you hear it, which is, I've been listening to a lot of music for a long time, and I like it.
Who are some of your influences for kind of
I
Americana
can tell you, I'm
stuff?
so old. I can remember Enrico Caruso to ZZ Top and Ludwig van and Wolfgang Amadeus, and there's too many people that have been around my life to particularly say, although Robert Allen Zimmerman, also known as Bob Dylan, he had a lot on. And
Yeah.
Richie Havens taught me, in my mind, my rhythmic is not as good as him, but it's kind of like that.
I know a guy who lives close to me here in California who is Indian and has a Indian music background, and he made picks for Richie Havens for his playing on a sitar. I think on the second or third album of Havens, he did that. He says huge picks. He said these things are huge that because they fit over your finger, and so he said Havens was just needed the largest picks he'd seen. Yeah, the first one reminded me back. "I Shall Be Free," early Robert Zimmerman song on there. Just the way, not necessarily anything about the chords or the rhythm, but the lightness and the humor that comes along in it, just tipping along the top of the water there. It reminded me of that. That yeah, there's a lot of Americana that has humor, and a light humor that sometimes has hooks that might not be so light, but there's certainly a tradition of that comes through that's still alive on that. How long have you been playing guitar and writing songs or singing them? And that?
Well, my mother went to Mexico and brought back this flamenco guitar, and I saw my aunts played ukulele, so I think it was 1959,
Yeah.
and I wrote my first song to a tree. And no, I've got a few CDs. I'm not a performer as far as making any money. I do it because of my good friend Jack Ulrich turned me on to Daphne and Dave and you guys. I like this because I like to hear somebody else do the same thing, and think about what
Yeah.
they did. Because I can learn by watching somebody else. My technique is mine,
Uh-huh.
but I can also figure out from somebody else.
Yeah, this is a nice open mic. I think that it's working out nicely. I've enjoyed it both listening and performing because you're exactly right. You can pick a couple and put them out there, but then you've got 6 to 10 others to hear right away. And
Well, let me ask you a question. I do not have a sophisticated. Could you understand what I was saying? And was my guitar too loud? I mean, or was it
no,
palatable?
no,
Huh?
I think it was fine. Others can join in on that, but for me, it came out fine. It's always hard, with doing something online because when you're doing it live online, the one thing you can't hear is what everyone else is hearing because you were already using the sound in your room, right? So it's nice that Dave and Daphne put the time in at the beginning to make sure that the balance is right. Another thing nice about this um, open mic. Hey, Patrick, I hope to hear you again. Where are you from, Patrick? I didn't catch that. Where are you right
Where
now?
am I living now? Grand Haven, Michigan. I was born in New York and been many states. I'm 77. I got one foot in the last century and the other one near the grave, so I'll be
Right.
playing for a while.
That sounds about right. I had a song I was thinking of last night. I was going to have one foot on the dock, the other on the boat, which is how I feel a lot. So I'll see if that holds up. So I threw out a whole song. Take care, Patrick. Thanks a lot.
All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, thank you, Patrick. I've got to say that you made me smile. I listened to what you were saying and I couldn't help but sit here with a big grin. So
Well,
you
now
hit
the
that
second song
mark.
was silly, but you've forgotten your keys. Everything I talked about, we've all done. That's
Yeah.
just the way that it goes.
But even the first song, Sing a Song, made me smile. Even though it wasn't funny, it made me smile. So you did that.
You
Thank
probably
you very
sang half those songs,
much.
like old McDonald, at least.
That's right. That's right. And we have so many more songs to go. Thank you for being a first timer. And now we're going to hear from Tom Maynard from Plaistow, New Hampshire. I hope I said that right. And he likes to play at the Ellen Schmidt open mic in Boxborough, Massachusetts, and also the Jam in Java open mic in Arlington, Massachusetts. Take it away, Tom.
Thank you, Daphne. It's really wonderful to be back. I've enjoyed every time I've come on, and I'm enjoying tonight immensely as well. Such great music, and looking forward to the others as well. This first song is a song I wrote a while ago, and it was one of these things where the words came first. So Pat was talking about where the songs come from, right? So the words came first, and then I spent a long time trying to work out a tune on it, and it ended up where I fell into using the traditional tune, Lord Franklin, for it, or at least part of it. So, and I kept saying, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. And then I gave up, and it is what it is. So this is called Beautiful When You Smile. That you're feeling sad tonight. I know you've had another sleepless night, but I hope that I can still get through and touch your heart like I used to do. Late last night as we sat in bed, legs beneath you and your book unread, a smile touched your lips like an angel's kiss. Then I lay amazed at the grace of this gift. You're so beautiful when you smile. You're so beautiful when smile. You're so beautiful when you smile. You're so beautiful when you smile. While my breath caught as your eyes found mine, your smile grew slowly and your eyes did shine. You reached for my hand and our fingers entwined. Then I fell in love for the 10,000th time. I knew in that moment there must be a way to coax a smile from you day after day. I knew I'd move heaven and earth to see that I might somehow set your smile free. You're so beautiful when you smile. 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 As I gaze in your tear-filled eyes, a smile has taken you quite by surprise. Our hearts are tied and our joy is one. And your smile can shine even as the tears run. You're so beautiful when you smile. You're so beautiful when you smile. You're so beautiful when you smile. You're so beautiful when you smile.
Beautiful song. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you. So I'm going to do an a cappella tune. This is a song based on the book The Perfect Storm by Sebastian Junger. And I guess that's all I need to say about it. The cry of the gull and the swell of the sea gently swaddles and rocks the scattered debris. No one knows what happened. No one was there to see. All that's left there behind them is the silence of the sea. The Andrea Gale was a sword fishing boat. And for months at a time, she would often stay out with her 6 crewmen. She made her way free, too soon to be swallowed by the silence of the sea. A man's choice of living seems no choice at all. The money's good, the work's hard when you're out for the haul. As you rocked on her bosom, as you rocked on her bosom, her suitor you'll be. No cry of your loved ones breaks the silence of the sea. In a violent collision, a new storm was born, with 30-foot waves thundered down upon them. No one knows what happened. No one was there to hear as the scream of the storm tore the silence of the sea. What goes through the mind of a man without grace as the cold ocean water wraps him in her embrace? Does he see it as folly? Does he cry out a plea as a soul is enfolded by the silence of the sea, the cry of the gull and the swell of the sea gently swaddles and rocks the scattered debris. No one knows what happened. No one was there to see. All that's left there behind them is the silence of the sea. All that's left there behind them is the silence of the sea.
Ah,
Powerful, moving.
Awesome, Tom. That was
beautiful.
Thank you so
Nice.
much.
Wonderful, Tom. What made you decide to do that a cappella? And do you always sing it that way?
I do. I do like to do an occasional a cappella tune. I'm a big fan of some of the traditional shanties and things, and as well as I don't know, folks here are familiar with the name Stan Rogers, a Canadian singer-songwriter who passed tragically. I think he was 36 back in the 80s, but he would do an occasional a cappella tune like that, and so it was designed from scratch to be a cappella. Sometimes I bring in like a drum or something to accompany me, but it's no instruments.
Coming right after the song where you accompanied yourself very nicely, by the way, on guitar, very
Thank you.
clean finger picking, right handwork. It struck me that being a cappella, it made it more a song of a single soul, unaccompanied. You could have handled it with maybe the guitar and the sound being the wood of the boat, but your voice alone made it a soul going out alone into either the silence or the ocean.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. I get where you're coming, and I love that. That's what you get from it.
Yeah, the first song too, "Beautiful When You Smile." It kind of got me thinking of the same type of thing, in that there's a relationship between the song and the music, and the words that are, and life. There's that the way that the form of one imitates the other tends to pick up something empathetic in the both in the singer, but also those of us who are listening. And it struck me that both of yours did that nicely and effectively.
Well, thank you. The first song I wrote for my wife, who had a lifetime issues with insomnia, and so the lyric, which I guess started as a poem, but no, I think I always intended it to be a song. So it was it was a very important lyric to me, and it was really important to find the right tune for it. And I tried over and over again to pull it away from Lord Franklin, and it was like, no, if there's a song if there are lyrics that go with that tune, this is one that does that. So yeah,
it struck me that as you played, you had the tonic fourth and fifth and playing. But when you went back from the fifth, you went to the C instead of going back to the G, which meant that when you went to the end, it went back, it turned that way, but it didn't completely assume that the beginning was waiting for it. It was almost as though it waited in a thoughtful and loving manner before it went and ended with the G chord and settled there on the tonic.
If that's that was not an intentional thing, I think it came out of the the melody that's the piece of the melody that isn't really Lord Franklin anymore. It's something that something new that's added into it. But I hear what you're saying with that too, and I've never had anybody sort of been insightful about it like that. So thank you for that.
Well, as Daphne says, I have to listen here, so that's what I try to do.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Tom. Have you been on here before?
I think I've been on a couple times. Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, it's lovely to have you. I look forward to hearing you again. Thanks.
Well, thank you. And again, Open Mic America, wonderful group of folks putting it on, and it's such an honor to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you right back, Tom and Robert, for asking such wonderful questions. I love these conversations. We all do. Next, we have someone who's no stranger to Open Mic America, Mark Bishop Evans from Phoenix, Arizona. And he loves the Arizona Live Music Cooperative Open Mic and Walk-In Wednesdays at the Open Mic at the Tempe Center for the Arts. Sorry, my tongue got all twisted around there, but I know you've spoken of these wonderful places before. And now it is all you, Mark Bishop Evans.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Daphne. This is the newest song that I've written. It's actually about a spacecraft that left here in 1977 and has currently traveled about 14.5 billion miles out into space, and it's still going. It's called Voyager. Time is but a memory. The earth is like a dream as you rocket across the boundary of infinity. Through never-ending centuries, as the asteroids collide, should we call you irony or fantasy? Voyager, can you send your light from heaven? Voyager, can you help to ease my mind? Count the numbers of the stars, verify just who we are. Voyager, are we running out of time? Universal harmony, planetary joy. Space is like a symphony of ecstasy. You're searching through the galaxies on your never-ending run. Aren't you just the refugee of refugees? Voyager, can you send your light from heaven? Voyager, can you help to ease my mind? Are there any more like me? Oh, Voyager, tell me what you see. Voyager, are we running out of time? Our epitaph through history still seems so far away. Still there is no guarantee of destiny. The galaxies will come and go, and stars will know the dim. Maybe in a million years you'll circle home again. Voyager, can you send your light from heaven? Voyager, can you help to ease my mind? Does another world exist? How long can we go on like this? Voyager, are we running out of time? Are there any more like me? Oh, Voyager, tell me what you see. Voyager, are we running out of time?
Wow.
I love that one, Mark.
Wonderful song.
So the next song is a true story, but I think it's important to know for songwriters that you never really want to let the truth get in the way of the story. So it's mostly true. Let's put it that way. It's called No Guarantee. She opened the door, and a smile touched her eyes. She couldn't have known who was there. I looked like a waif standing there in the rain, and somehow I knew she wouldn't care. She opened her arms and she offered a sigh, and then she said, "Oh, what have we here?" I gathered her up, held her close to my heart, felt all the time disappear. The time disappeared. She invited me in from the night and the cold. Would you care for a warm cup of tea? Here, give me that coat. Can you stay for a while? Feels like it's been centuries. I couldn't help notice how the passing of time hadn't touched her at all. And the joy of this girl that I loved wasn't hard to recall. How can we know that the love of a friend could run as deep as the sea? Take all the love that is there when you can. Life gives you no guarantee, no guarantee. We sat and we talked the lives we had known, all of the sorrows and all of the joy. We both had our share of stories to tell. By the way, how are your boys? It finally came round to the past we had shared, as both of us knew that it would. Remembering nights far beyond any dream, sharing what love that we could, the love that we could. Morning has come and we're still sitting here, past in the night, flown away. Turning I saw she was looking at me. So tell me, how long can you stay? How can we know that the love of a friend could run as deep as the sea? Take all the love that is there when you can. Life gives you no guarantee, no guarantee.
gorgeous.
How cool.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Mark. You're in Phoenix right now?
Pardon me?
You're in Phoenix right now? Phoenix, Arizona?
Yep.
That has it cooled off there a little bit?
Well, it's cooler in the morning and in the evening. Middle of the day, it's still 104, 106, 108, but like I could have coffee on my porch now, and it's, 75 at 6:30 in the morning, so it's nice and comfortable.
You can leave it out there during the day. It'll be warm for you at night for after dinner. The lovely the Voyager song. I have to say that you're the only other person I've heard on this show who's done a song about a satellite. I've got one that I've called Lullaby for Stardust, which was for a satellite that went out and captured some dust and came back. But yours is a fine one too. Both of your songs are about distance, it seems to me.
Maybe.
Distance from a satellite from its launch, and distance between two people with time between them.
Yeah, it's true. I guess that's a cool observation. Thank you, Rob. Yeah.
And the second one also, which I'm sure is designed, is though you've been away for a while and you're close, it comes back to a tonic that has a dissonant chord. So it's close, but there's a dissonance that remains there. It never really settles down into a tonic.
Well, obviously that second one's about a relationship where two people loved each other, but they just couldn't be together. And so so that was kind of that was what that was about, and yeah, the dissonance certainly is meant to be give you a feeling of uncomfortableness, maybe.
Right. Well, in the song, you go from kind of major chords or minor chords, and they're standard major and minor triads. And so when you're talking about it's easy to talk, and we had this, we were this way, we were that way, and then it comes down to being face to face, and the dissonance. That's where you put it in. So
put it in there because there's always that sadness. That dissonance. Brings a sadness to it, and so you can have you can be very good friends and in love, but your relationship can have an underlying current of sadness in it, and I think that's what that was about.
I went to your site. Did I see that you have a new album that you put up?
I had two come out in early 2023. Yeah, one in January and one in February, actually. So there's, I think the one in January has that second song on it. Yeah.
So a new one. And are those? Are you the sole musician on this, or did you have some bring in some support?
Produced, and the producer Bob McCarroll, fabulous musician, pretty much did all the backup on most of it. I had a couple piano players come in at one point, but Bob McCarroll did the backup stuff for that, and did a fabulous job, I think. So, yeah.
How did you work with your producer for bringing your songs into the recording studio?
Well, I'd go into a studio and I'd sit down and I'd do a scratch track, and then we'd come back and lay a guitar over the top of that, and come back and do a vocal over the top of that, and then he'd ask me, "What do you want on it?" And I'd say, "Well, let's try this and this and this and this," and so then he'd put that and that on it, and then he'd send me a copy, and I'd say, "Yeah, no, that's not it. Let's try this and this." So it was kind of that kind of situation.
Well, it sounds like a good relationship. Right.
Yeah, you know, he didn't take it personally when I said no. I don't like that mandolin part at all. No, it doesn't do anything for me. He
That's
didn't
not
take
his
it.
job, right? Is it? I like uh, essentially. Here's what I got. Now tell me what you want. Here's what you got. Now tell me what you want. That that sounds like a good relationship between the producer and songwriter.
Quite so.
Thanks very much, and we'll see you again, I'm sure.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And
Thanks, Mark.
Dave, Davna, thank you so.
Welcome back, Bet Paget. Her favorite open mics are the Folk Project Monday Night Song Circle and the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Raleigh Coffee House. And you can find those both on our website under local open mics. And now, Bet, sing for us.
Okay. I hope it sounds good. Who knows? I was noodling around and found this chord, and it just sounded so dreamy that I thought I would have to write a song about a dream. And to make it even dreamier, in my song about a dream, I have a dream. The song is about a dream within a dream. And I don't know where the selkie comes from. That just sort of appeared. And what is a selkie? A selkie is a creature that originally came from Scandinavia, and the myth or the legend has traveled through Ireland and Scotland. And a selkie is a seal that comes from the sea. It loses its skin or its coat and takes on a human form. Often it is captured and held hostage by a member of the opposite gender. And in this particular dream about a selkie, anyhow, I'll let you figure it out. It's called In My Dream. In my dream, I was a silky from the water. My coat disappeared into wet sand. The song of the ocean behind me. Before me in the moonlight, a handsome man. In my dream, I bore him 7 children. Each day I longed deeper for the sea, for my heart belonged in pure blue water. But without my coat, I could never leave. In my dream, my love left every sunrise. He then returned when the stars began to swirl. One day I secretly followed to spy upon and learn about his world. Where he went, I saw darkness and destruction. There was greed and war, bloodshed and despair. I ran back to our home and our family. I ran away to get away from there. a dream. I found where my coat had been hidden, and with it I headed for the sea. I awoke from my dream within my dream, and went to the place where in my dream I found my coat. Then bid farewell to my children. That was the last time to them I ever spoke. When I awoke from my dream, I found destruction. There was greed and war, bloodshed and despair. But I can dream of a place beneath blue water, and hope that man won't destroy the peace down there.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. God.
Beautiful.
You sounded
Very nice.
marvelous, Bet.
Okay, well, thank you. I had forgotten to turn my original sound on during sound check. So, my dog is going into his toy box. We'll just have to put up with him. A friend of mine died a few years ago. He wasn't just a friend, he was my godson's father. And my godson's mother is a really dear friend of mine, and I wondered how she was going to explain to this child what death is. And so this is where that song came from. It's called Where Did Papa Go? Where did sunshine go? Where did sunshine go? It went to rain clouds, don't you know? My mama told me so. Where did rain clouds go? Where did rain clouds go? They went to moonlight, don't you know? My mama told me so. Where did moonlight go? Where did moonlight go? To guide Papa, don't you know? My mama told me so. Where did Papa go? Where did Papa go? He went to starlight, don't you know? My mama told me so. There are no words at all for us, no matter how they're small, saying things will be okay, and where we all will go one day. did starlight go? Where did starlight go? Went to stardust, don't you know? My mama told me so. Where did stardust go? Where did stardust go? It's all around us, don't you know? My mama told me so.
Very nice. Wow.
Oh gosh,
Another great one.
how beautiful.
Wonderful.
That was beautiful. Made me
Wow,
cry, Mom.
Oh.
that's not fair. Me too.
No, it's supposed to be an uplifting kind of song, but yeah, it makes me cry too. Because before I got to sing it to my godson about his father's death, his older brother died. And so when I sang it to him for the first time, he had a double whammy, you know. And anyhow, that was 2 years ago, and
How old was he?
he was old enough to know what was going on. He was, you know, he was how old was he? 12 maybe, you know, but still, I mean, I went to my friend's funeral. There were 300 people there, and it was a very, very sudden death. I mean, he was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, but he was gone in 2 weeks after the diagnosis, and people were walking around his funeral saying, "Where's Tom? I just saw him a couple of weeks ago. You know, where'd he go?" You know, so I don't think it's just children who really don't understand what happens. You know, where do we go? What really happened? We don't know until it happens to us. You know, and so I wrote it not only for my godson, but I think for all of us.
What a lovely pair of touching songs. They're really they really touch. Um, the first I heard was "Where Do I Go?" I hope that I can get away from the hurt of men, from men being able to hurt, into the water, into the ocean, and also the references in both of them to the stars. It struck me. I went to hear Laurie Anderson a week ago, and when she was performing, she had a line that said, "I love stars, and why do I love stars so much? I think it's because man can't hurt them." And it was, you know, this reminded me of that equally touching line of
And
a connection
yeah,
there.
that is lovely. That's a lovely thought. And you know, stars somewhat are untouchable for us. You know, they lend to our imaginations. You know what really is out there. And in my dream, you know, the dream of peace and tranquility, which is found up in the stars and underneath the sea, sort of maybe, but in reality on Earth, what we're seeing, you know, the destruction, the death, and that's what the Selkie in the song couldn't deal with, and why she really wanted to get back to her home in the sea. You know, even after being held captive and having 7 children, and there's something about the number 7 in that Selkie folklore. Nobody really knows what it is, but in most of the Selkie songs that have evolved over the hundreds of years, the number 7 has some kind of significance, and that's why I mentioned there were 7 children.
There's something with lyric writing, one doesn't always know where the words come from, but if you feel a necessity to put them there, or a volition to do so, it usually works. Maybe you can later, you can put it there, and then later at some point you may learn the references, the meaning of the reference to 7 through time.
Right. Right.
It's a place to put them where it'll resonate for you in a song. I noticed also Mark in his song used the word touched. He said the smile touched her eyes, which was something that again, the jump between the visual and the touching was something there. I love the kind of circle you made for the song. Where do the rain clouds go? To the moonlight, moonlight to the to Papa to starlight, and going around, and then say the stardust all around. I mean, it's just an absolutely beautiful way to settle that circle, or that spiral, perhaps. It's beautiful.
There's a term for that, and I can't remember what it is, but it's very similar, I guess, to where all the flowers go, and some kind of riddle like that. And there's a name for it, and it just escapes me. I can't think of the name of it.
I like that yours, whereas where have all the flowers gone, it does go in a perfect circle. Yours comes down and kind of alights instead. It's all around, and so it doesn't end it, but it does alight, and I think that's very touching in your song. Beautiful playing, of course. I love the open chords, and that you've chosen for glimmers of light in the dark. They glisten in there beautifully.
Well, I thank you, and I thank all of you at Open Mic America. This is a wonderful thing that you do, and I'm glad to be here and to be a part of it and to listen to these wonderful musicians. And the interviews, I think, is that's a fabulous, something different from any other open mics, which I think is great.
It's nice to have to have what resonance we can build in these. So it allows some of the tunes to echo a bit after we're done. Thank you very much. I loved hearing your songs. I'm very happy to have heard them.
Thank you.
I started thinking about other songs, and there's one that's a lot more trite, but it has the same form, and that's there's a hole in my bucket, because it goes around and around. So, but yours touches the heart. So thank you for that. Next, we have Home Tonight with Gail and David from Mariposa, California. And they continue to go to, and I think be a big part of, the Yosemite Songwriting Retreat and the Grove House, both in Mariposa, California. Welcome home tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Well, you want to just start, David, and
Yes.
we can talk about Yosemite Songwriting Retreat and the Grove House when we're finished.
Sure.
So the two songs we're going to do, the first being called Setting the Table. We co-wrote both of these songs, and we'd like to share them with you. This one was inspired by a friend of my daughter who found herself alone at the table.
Table for one, white linen, polished spray. my spirit sings in the light of the moon.
Tonight I'll rejoice and celebrate just me. A party for one, solo mystery.
There's a quiet conversation going on in my head. Songs and poetry, repetitions of what we said.
A forward-thinking woman on the rise.
Feasting on truth, no more fast food lies.
No more lies. If you hadn't come to kiss me, wouldn't have noticed you were gone. You ended our story. Guess we didn't belong. You were a lousy hero. Don't believe your shit anymore. There's a party for one gathering at my door. A candle in the mirror. I'm brushing freshly cut hair. The moment I feel safe is the moment that I don't care. The hurricane is over, gentle waves, crimson sun. Sitting quietly at my table, toasting for one.
If you hadn't come to kiss me, wouldn't have noticed you were gone.
You ended your story. I guess we didn't belong.
You were a lousy love. Don't want your shit anymore.
There's a party for one gathering at my door. And there's a party for one gathering at my door.
Wow, how beautiful.
Great harmony.
Very nice.
Next tune is another co-write. We've been doing that a bit lately, and it's been a ton of fun. Gail's a fantastic lyricist, and I'm an okay editor, so we work together on that. And I love writing music for our tunes, and this is another one, kind of a different temperament. Did you want to talk about the impulse here?
The impulse was looking in my closet, looking in the mirror, and writing a song about a vintage girl.
And here we go.
Flowers in my hair, bell-bottom breeze. Watch me walk with revolutionary ease. I've got long red hair with curious girl. Mini or maxi, I'm a vintage girl. dark eyeliner, wide green eyes. My mood rings, sparkles, and hypnotize. My favorite station on your radio. I'm a vintage girl from head to toe.
She got me flying, gliding, walking on air. She's a vintage girl without a care. She's got me sliding, diving, feeling despair. This vintage girl's got me in her stare.
Imagining peace, opening all doors, dancing in the moonlight, slinking on the floor. At every age I ruminate, I'm a vintage girl, that's no debate.
She's got me flying, gliding, walking on air. She's a vintage girl without a care. She's got me sliding, diving, feeling despair. This vintage girl has caught me in her stare.
My attitude and style prevail. All things historic fit my time scale. I've got a treasure painting, nothing less, of this vintage girl in a sequin dress.
She's got me flying, gliding, walking on air.
I got
She's a vintage girl, but I don't care. She's got me sliding, diving,
and
feeling despair. This vintage girl has caught me in my stare.
That's a hoot. That's fine.
Wow, these are two show tunes.
It's funny. Oh goodness. Well, thank you. We really want to thank Open Mic America for hosting these things, and all you great folks for putting the energy into it. I know it's a ton of work, and really, really do appreciate it.
Oh,
Can you get closer to your microphone now that you are just speaking normally?
Sure, I can.
Great. Thank you. Take it away, Robert.
make sure you speak normally. We don't want any abnormal speech here in
Good luck
Open
there.
Mic America. I noticed that the Vintage Girl deals with the past in a different way. It's not nostalgic. What I got was your amusement at your acceptance of being a vintage girl.
Why not?
That's right. Which doesn't mean you didn't notice how you were vintage and the elements there, so you could bring them up. How did you decide to go about choosing the music for it?
Oh, that's a good question. When Gail writes lyric, I read it and we immediately start to massage it into frame and focus, dealing with both rhythm and intention. Intention is for both of us is a supremely important part of songwriting, hoping to make that clear for folks, and also positivity. But the music comes from really impulsively. I lay the lyric out in front of me, and this stuff just happens. It's not like it's planned. It's not like there's a design to it in some particular way. I like to do things that are just a little bit different, and a lot of people comment on the sort of the nature of the fact that the tunes have. A kind of, I guess, what some people call like a Broadway quality. And I am professionally a sound designer, and I have designed on Broadway, but I don't write music for Broadway. I mostly deal with systems and things like that. But Gail's tunes and Gail's ideas, I think, foster a kind of, I don't know, there's just something very active about them. So I think it lends itself to being something stage-like.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just speaking the Vintage Girl lyrics, I think, comes up with something that hops. It has its own pentameters that.
Yeah, initially, this wasn't designed to be for to two voices, and we got together and decided that there should be two perspectives. You know, the perspective, the vintage girl, and then the person responding to that woman.
That makes sense, and it made sense hearing it. You got that. Do you ever work in the other direction, going from music to lyrics?
I do. I don't. You probably don't as much. You're such a. You do so many. She does so many great lyrics and she writes great tunes. But I go both ways, and sometimes I write things that are instrumental too. But it does go both ways. I'd say probably 80% of the time it's lyric to music.
And Gail, did you write your own before you got together with David doing these, or?
She has a ton of tunes.
Tons of tunes.
You've been doing this for a while. Some vintage tunes, perhaps.
Some vintage tunes, yeah. Then I also have written a ton of material for educational, environmental material for kids, and also then other stuff. And it's been really fun co-writing with David. And we've got Yosemite Songwriting Retreat coming up. And one of the instructors that I'm really happy about, speaking of co-writing, I'm taking you out on a tangent, is Melody Walker, because she co-wrote a lot of the songs on Molly Tuttle's Grammy Award-winning CD Crooked Tree. In fact, she co-wrote that song. So I'm excited to take her class at our retreat about co-writing and see how do the professionals do it.
Those professionals.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the learning goes both ways, and it sounds like a nice thing. It's a little too far for me, but it sounds like a great songwriting camp there.
It's a great community that gets built, and it's a very safe place for people of all different kinds of skill sets, and that makes it pretty attractive to a lot of people.
When is this one coming up?
October 6th through the 8th, and we have Bill Craven and Melody Walker and Zach Smith, who was in Smoothhound Smith, opened up for the Dixie Chicks, great musician and songwriter. So it should be a fun weekend, and really, you're not that far away.
Yes, actually, I am going to be in Big Sur on that weekend, and so I won't make it, but I'll see I'll try to stay in touch with this if this is something that comes around again in a year's time or something like that. Is it annual? Or?
This is our 11th.
This is 11 years of YSR, and
wonderful.
Yeah, and it takes place now at the Grove House, which is a great venue. And David and I actually host a open mic there the last Thursday of every month. So
wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of good music happens there and food. Yeah, so there you go.
All right, thank you very much. And David, I like your T-shirt also. Mention that.
One of my investments, the Tank in Rangeley, Colorado. It's actually it's a place for sonic arts. It's a really amazing place if anybody gets a chance to get there.
Ah, great. Hey, thank you very much. I really enjoyed it.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Bye.
I would love to come to Mariposa one day and explore what you were talking about. It's probably not far from me either. It sounds delightful, and you sounded delightful. And now we're going very far away, though. We're going to Kentucky. I mean, far away from Mariposa. To hear Bill Palmer from Murray, Kentucky, and he likes to play at the Johnson Bar in Paducah, Kentucky. You have the stage, Bill.
Hello. It's good to be back. What a great night to be on Open Mic America. Oh my God. This has been fun so far. So let's see. I guess I'm live here. This song, I didn't know why at first. Maybe I know more listening to some of the discussions here, how words and songs have later relevance and meaning. This is called Chasing the Frog in the Garden. I'm thinking it might have something to do with the frog in the garden now that I think about it. But it was born of two islands, Orcas Island up by Vancouver, Canada. That's where the tune came from. And then I've been spending a lot of time about 3,000 miles away from there in the low country of Georgia in Jekyll Island. The lyrics sort of came from there. So this is, I guess, the combination of that. You don't know where you're going, gonna find a new place, somewhere different in time and in space. Spanish moss in the wind and salt in the air, mysterious voices from everywhere in the trees. Well, you're gonna feel hotter with the sweat on your face. Cicadas at night, an alligator might be any place. Well, you're sitting in a low spot in time and space, slowing way down just to find a new pace, till time and space is just space. The Spanish moss in the wind and salt in the air, mysterious voices from everywhere in the trees. You don't know where you're going, gonna find a new place, somewhere different in time and in space. Spanish moss in the wind and salt in the air, mysterious voices from everywhere in the trees. Well, you're gonna feel hotter with the sweat on your face. Cicadas at night, an alligator might be any place. Well, you're sitting in a low spot in time and space. You're slowing way down just to find a new pace, till time and space is just space. Oh, well, you don't know where you're going, gonna find a new place, somewhere different in time and in space. Spanish moss in the wind and salt in the air, mysterious voices from everywhere in the trees.
Yay, bravo.
That's sweet.
Through here.
Oh, the changing guitar trick.
The changing guitar trick. Instead of capoing into an out-of-tune guitar. Hopefully I'll be in tune. All right. Okay, well, this is a completely different kind of a song. It does have stars in it, though, and there's been stars and stuff in songs already today, so. I guess the thought behind this song is that for no fault of their own, a lot of people end up in really terrible situations. They're really, why? Who knows? And on the other hand, there's a lot of people who have a lot of good fortune that they really can't take credit for, I don't think. So anyway. And there's supposed to be a whistling part at the beginning of this, but I'm finding it hard to whistle today, so there's going to be something else. So let's try this out. We get invited to this dance and mostly we walk right through it in a trance where we play the game, learn the rules from strangers we met while still in school. Well, sometimes we lose and we get depressed. We're afraid that somehow we're not blessed when after all it's just a test of the random chances in this contest. What if those cards are dealt in the dice I cast? Then those things that happened to us in the past were not deserved, but just amassed by a million choices that were made too fast. Well, then our lives are ruled mostly just by chance, just by the random circumstance, and luck is all that makes this place just like it does with the stars out in outer space. I got invited to this dance and mostly walk right through it in a trance. Well, I play those games. Well, I learned those rules from the strangers I met while still in school. Well, sometimes I win and I make the blunder. I think I'm smart or I have thunder. Well, I never think. Well, I never wonder if luck's the only reason for the charms I'm under. What if those cards are dealt in the dice and cast? Then the things that happened to me in the past were not deserved, but just amassed by the random chances in these contests. Well, I think my life's ruled mostly just by chance, just by the random circumstance, and luck is all that makes this place just like it does with stars out in outer space. So if you're feeling blue and you don't know what to do, and if you're feeling sad 'cause your sweetheart said you're bad, well, you thought you had some luck and now you're pretty darn sure that you use it all up now. Shuffle those cards, call your mama on the phone, shake them dice and roll them bones. Now your cards are dealt in your dice, I guess those things are gonna happen to you after that. Won't be deserved, but just a mess through a million choices you're gonna make too fast. 'Cause your life's ruled mostly just by chance, just by the random circumstance, and luck is all that makes this place just like it does with the stars out in outer space. So shut those cards, call your mama on the phone, and shake them dice and roll them bones. Now your cards are dealt and your dice are cast. Well, the thing's gonna happen to you after that won't be deserved, but just a mess. Through a million choices gonna make you fast. Oh, and luck is all that makes this place just like it does with the stars out in outer space. Oh, and luck is all that makes this place just like it does with the stars out in outer space.
So clever. Woo,
There
Bill.
you go.
Nice. I see your songs in the key of C there.
Let's see. That one was actually, I think it was a G shape, and it was capoed up a couple, so that would have made it an A, I think. Yeah.
Yes, well, SEA is what your T-shirt was claiming.
Oh, I see the key of C. No, I see. No, that's a different song.
Yes. Yes, and who was I think it was Tom who was nice enough when I told him that he was playing in G and went to F without going back, or maybe it was Mark. He was nice enough not to say, no, it actually was in C because I was on the fifth. Had to capoed up. Yeah, it was nice also hearing a song mainly built around the second beat, having the accent instead of the first. It like the song you just played.
Yeah.
And if you're a frog, like your first song, that kind of builds in the jump, the hop the frog will have.
I think there is a frog in there somewhere. I'm seeing it more and more.
How long have you been playing?
It's kind of an odd story, I guess. Played piano for a long time, since in my 20s, but picked up the guitar for a couple of years, 10 years ago, and then put it away. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, kind of was back where I knew the C chord was about the only thing. So it's been in my hands for 5 years, and I can't get it out. So it's been a fun journey trying to learn how to play guitar and sing.
Did you write songs on the piano?
I've always constructed melodies. I can't really sing and play piano at the same time. I don't quite understand that, but I've always played kind of jazz-ish kind of melodies on the piano, or classical sounding-ish kind of things, but just
who do you listen to?
For the piano, I was a big Keith Jarrett fan. I guess I still am, and Chick Corea, those kind of jazz guys. And gosh, guitar, it's just all over the place. I made a list because I heard you ask somebody else, and I can never think when I'm music stuff.
Of course. It goes without saying.
But somebody mentioned Molly Tuttle, and she's sort of my flat pick guitar hero. And Dan Hicks and Lyle Lovett, John Prine, a strange group called the Hanson Family, which I really like. Bob Marley, yeah. And then actually that first song, I will say, I think it was influenced by Joe Pass, because I don't usually play that kind of jazzish kind of sound, but I listened to a Joe Pass album on my way to Seattle when I came up with that tune, and so I think some of that leaked in there.
Well, that riff that you have for the first song is lovely. That's a great riff. That just sort of came out of nowhere and just kept building. It started as an instrumental. There's more kind of little ornaments that go on top of that basic riff, in the sort of the inner. Yeah, but that kind of thing is so wide open that it lends itself to a lot of different kinds of moves and treatments, I guess. Right. When I'm writing, I always wonder if I can extend that riff into other parts. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
I've got my A part. And
I know. It's just like, and that one really doesn't have a lot more. It just has some ornament on it, but with the lyrics, then I thought that it made a kind of an interesting combination, kind of created a mood.
Oh, I think it does. I think that's very much the case. So are you finding other musicians in Kentucky?
I'm not having much luck at that, actually. I've been traveling a lot back and forth between here and Georgia, kind of 2 months here, 1 month there. And I haven't really had a chance to play out at all. You know, as with the relic of COVID and all that, it's still, you know. So it's been.
Yeah.
I'm hoping when I get down to Georgia, there's a town named St. Simon's Island, which is nearby, and they're supposed to have a couple of really some songwriter open mics. So I'll try that.
Yeah, I have a sister and brother-in-law who had a boat that used to go up the intracoastal waterway there.
Yeah.
And so I know
Kind of amazing, yeah.
we docked overnight at Gewecke and
Oh, cool.
there on the way down to Florida where I was living. That, but yeah, beautiful place that is absolutely musical. I mean, even if you can't hear it, your guitar will if you pass.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case. You know, at night it becomes kind of magical with this, like I said, with the Spanish moss, and there's a few musicians kind of starting to collect down there. So I've heard rumors and innuendo and stories, but I haven't met any of them yet. So it should be interesting. Maybe.
Well, if you play a bit, I'm sure they will find you. That's lovely stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, thank you so much for coming back to Open Mic
it's so much fun.
America.
This is an amazing night. I've just had so much fun just listening to all of this stuff.
Me too. This is an amazing night. And it's not over
I know.
because we're going to have Kirby Hurd from High Point, North Carolina, taking us home tonight. She's been playing at open mics at Paddled South and Plank Street and High Point and the Flatiron and the Odin Brewing in Greensboro. And those are on our website. Kirby Hurd, take us home.
Last but not least, I hope.
Absolutely.
Hope it's all right to go a little past the top of the hour, because here we are.
Oh, no, you sing your two songs and you do your interview. We need to hear it all, Kirby.
Oh. So I wrote this song. I kind of came up with the first line of the chorus, and I was thinking about that old poem. I think Peter, Paul, and Mary, and probably a few other artists made it a song, but Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod. Remember that? I know I'm showing my age. Anyway, this is called Paper Cup. When darkness tries to dim my light, and gremlins come around, rain clouds hang above my head, no matter where I'm found. I'll send my secrets down the stream, release them all at last. On tiny slips of paper, they'll drift into the past. I'll pour my troubles in a paper cup, drink them up and toss the cup. I'll make a paper sailboat so that I can float my hopes. A sea of dreams will comfort me and remind my light to shine, as the stars whisper a lullaby to ease my troubled mind. I'll search for extra sunbeams to save for a cloudy day, put them in my pocket or make a globe to hold the rays. I'll fold a paper airplane, chase the clouds and set the sun, fly among the birds, see the horizon and beyond. I'll hang a paper rainbow, a pot of love at each end. Dawn will rise to kiss the moon with fairies in the wind. To ease the pain of falling rain, the breeze will lift me up. Far above the strife I see, put that in my paper cup. I'll pour my troubles in a paper cup, drink them up and toss the cup. I'll make a paper sailboat so that I can float my hopes. Sea dreams will comfort me and remind my light to shine, as the stars whisper a lullaby to ease my troubled mind. The stars will sing a lullaby and ease my troubled mind.
A beautiful Kirby.
Good song. Wow.
Thank you. And now for the other guitar. I know Bet's heard this song. This song was inspired by and dedicated to the people of Ukraine. Been through a lot over the last couple hundred years. It's called Looks Like Rain. Day begins in the valley deep. Muted colors, the sun still sleeps. Puffy clouds play hide and seek. Today it looks like rain. Ills of the world knock at our door. We don't answer, whatever for. A war of words with words of war. Still it looks like rain. Golden blooms that follow the sun, vivid as the blue sky above. Seeds of peace, sowing seeds of love, waiting for the rain. Gales of dangerous gusty winds of change, scarring the land with bloody stains. Gallant yellow giants remain as rockets fall like rain. Say when the storm will end, vivid flowers will bloom again. Ancient tears from heaven descend, caressing us with rain. Through the torrents we're holding strong, generations stand arm in arm, intent to see a peaceful dawn and dancing in the rain. Dancing, 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 dancing in the rain. Dancing, 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 dancing in the rain. Today, it looks like rain.
So beautiful. What a way to take us home.
Yes, that's great.
Kirby.
Thank you so much. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Kirby. It was wonderful songs.
Thank you.
I haven't myself tried to take on Crimea as a song title because it's so hard to handle it without missing a good point. I'm not. Let's see if I can say this a little better. I think you did it very well.
Thank you.
One coming out and saying, "Hey, this is a horrible thing that's going on," is simply restating the obvious. So that's no place to start. I love the line, the rockets fall like rain. We've had kind of a water theme tonight, but it was really not romantic, but it helped say in a language that we're all using right now. By the way, some of this rain is rockets, and that horrible reality sets in when delivered with a song like yours.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I in the last several years, I've written a bunch of songs that are, I don't know, one friend said they were kind of ranty, but there's been a lot to rant about in the last several years. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think it does what I meant for it to do, and I don't think it rants.
I want to mention one other thing. You mentioned winking, blinking, and nod.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I was little, before I learned to read, as I was learning to read, my mother had a wonderful illustrated book with
Yes.
that in it.
Oh,
And
yes,
just
yes.
the language itself, winking, blinking, and nod one night, went out on a wooden shoe, uh, over a river of crystal light into a sea
Into the
of
sea of
dew.
blue.
Of blue, okay. That was, but with the language and the poetry that we're hearing tonight, that depth is already there in that children's lyric, isn't it?
Oh, I definitely, it is. I grew up with probably the very same book you did.
Uh-huh.
And I believe it was Peter, Paul, and Mary who I heard record that song. A number of people have. And when I went looking it up, because I thought, well, I need to revisit some of these old songs, um, that's when I found that several other people have recorded it. So I didn't even, or and with different versions. Somebody else was more famous, and it might have been a country singer. I can't remember. Anyway,
I
but
know the Doobie Brothers did a version of it, and I heard it, and I was excited because I I had this still within me echoing. I went, oh no, that's not the right lyric. That's not the right melody for this at all. I thought they just butchered it. So that's a danger of sharing sources, I guess.
I guess so.
What else have you been playing?
I actually played a show this afternoon, so if my voice isn't quite there, I apologize. It was a little misty. I wasn't in the rain, but
Uh-huh.
um, I play. I had some surgery late last year, so I'm kind of just now getting back out on the scene,
Yeah.
and so I've been playing in Greensboro. I played in Durham yesterday at the Center Fest. It's an outdoor arts and music festival, and I was lucky to have a really beautiful day there. And I'll be playing out again next Sunday, and then I think I do a singer-songwriter thing in a few weeks, which I really enjoy that venue where you have, two or three people that swap songs and talk about
Yeah.
them a little bit. It's a lot like this. It's kind of a little more in depth than a basic open mic, kind of more like Open Mic America,
Uh-huh.
because you can talk about stuff where it comes from and share a little more. And I really enjoy those.
They're
It's kind of
lovely.
more what I'm after, but you can't pick and choose. You take what you get.
Tom Gewecke, who started out tonight, he used to come over. We used to have song circles at our house and
Nice,
bring 5 or 6 folks over.
nice.
And yeah, they're just the perfect place to have a song.
Yeah. I do go to a number of songwriter circles that are in my general area. I'm in central North Carolina, and the Triangle, Raleigh, Durham is about 100 miles east of me. Not quite 100, but and maybe 60 to 80, and maybe 60 to 80 to Charlotte. So that's kind of where I am in the metro area of North Carolina, if you consider any of North Carolina metro. Um, but I've gotten into some of the songwriter circles nearby, and there are some songwriter open mics that I've recently gone to that are like specifically songwriter open mics that are great because it's not as bad to screw up something, like everybody, oh, that, wait, what was that? No, let me start over, and so it's a, I don't know, a comfort. I don't know.
Yes.
It's it's not like it's not like a show where you're being paid and I mean, you know, when it's your own stuff, you're the only one who knows you screwed up if you keep going. It's that if you keep going part that's the challenge, you know. So,
I wrote
yeah,
this.
I like to sing, so I just like to get out there and
Uh-huh.
some comes out, so I write it down, you know.
Excellent. I loved your stuff.
Thanks.
And everyone's tonight, actually.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And
My
I look
pleasure.
forward to
You
hearing you
can,
again.
folks can find me online, and I have records available. So, you know,
Wonderful.
hit me up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daphna. Thanks, Open Mic
Thank
America. Thanks,
you.
Capo Dave.
This was a wonderful night indeed, and there's a lot of thank yous all around. But before I do that, since Kirby mentioned this, if any of the performers on Open Mic America ever, have links to their work or websites or YouTubes, you will find them on our website. So if you liked what you heard and you want to hear more of it, just go to the website, look up performers, and then click on their links, and you will be able to hear more of them. And this doesn't have to be over for you. And now, with the thank yous all around, first of all, let's thank all of our wonderful performers. We have Tom Gewecke from Sunnyvale, California, Pat Henry from Waterford, Michigan. You can wave. Tom Maynard from Plaistow, New Hampshire. Mark Bishop Evans, Phoenix, Arizona. Bet Paget, Raleigh, North Carolina. Home tonight, which is Gail and David from Mariposa, California. Bill Palmer from Murray, Kentucky, and Kirby Hurd from High Point, North Carolina. As you see, we are from all over the United States, which is just such a thrilling part of this. I also want to thank our hosts. We have Robert Edgar, who did all the wonderful interviews and gave us some insight into the performers and their music and the particular songs. And also the intrepid Capo Dave Williams, who is our engineer tonight, but also the founder of Open Mic America. If you like the show, please don't keep it a secret. You can download and print posters. We have t-shirts. Don't forget to check out your local open mics. There's a page for that as well. And you can always see the archives of all the shows we've ever done. And we started a couple years ago. So there are a lot of shows that you could watch. We are always here on the first 2 or 3 Sundays of every month. We send out emails about that. And when our show will be is always posted on the homepage of the website. Our next one will be Sunday, October 1st, same time, same station. So stay tuned for the next full lineup. Okay, we're going to make sure that everybody is safely muted except me, who keeps talking for just another moment. And we can all wave at the same time and say, good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.